And it's time now for the big three. 3 stocks, 3 charts, and 3 trades. And let's bring in Ben Lichtenstein. He's going to take us through the charts. And here to take us through the trades is Joel Hawthorne, head trader and CEO at themorningsnapshot.com. Great to see you both, gentlemen. Joel, let's start with you. Your overall take on this week's market performance as we head into the really last full active, super active week of the year.
Good morning, Renita. Always a pleasure to see you and Ben. Happy holidays to you guys and your families as well. This week is what I like to call just that bullish kind of grind, if you would. I think right now a lot of the economic data that we were waiting for is behind us. I think the momentum is still pointing to the upside. I've been a cautious bull here because of that. I think everything from Fed sentiment to technical levels in SPX to some of the lower volatility that we've seen in the VIX, the lower dollar, all of this just adds to a narrative that I think is very complementary to the bulls and upward momentum. So that's really where I think we are. I think we finished the year like that, and just gonna kind of keep that momentum.
Are we officially in a Santa Claus rally or just right before?
I think we are. I think we are in the Santa Claus rally. One of my favorite movies is Trading Places,
Yeah,
and Eddie Murphy's character talks about being able to afford the GI Joe with the kung fu grip for Christmas for his kids. So
that's
I think
good.
that's where we are.
Okay, I love it. Love the visual too. Now, tell us about your first trade, Amazon. This stock is up today about a 0.5% year to date, up more than 80%.
Yeah, definitely. Take a look at the chart right now. I am looking at it's currently trading 154.62. I have a level here, a bit of a range from probably about 147 up to about 177-ish. And that 147-ish level was just very tough at a resistance for Amazon to kind of break above and trade above with some momentum. It kept getting in that area, finding resistance, pulling back. I think now that we've broken above it with some significance, I think that there's more upside to Amazon. So I am a bull at these levels.
Okay, this makes sense. Ben, why don't you walk us through the chart?
Well, Renita, I can understand the bullishness here. We've got some momentum to the upside, that's for sure, with the broader base rally we're seeing in the broader market. Taking a look here at shares of AMZN, as Joel mentioned, there has been some upside momentum as of recent. Taking a look at the move to 156, and I really got 2 areas of value that I see forming here. A bullish pattern. 145 is the lower area, 154 is the current area, and we're kind of random right now as long as we remain below this 155, 156 area, above 153, 152 we'll call it, but as long as we hold above 145, this is still a very bullish pattern. Now, this is just a look back at the last few weeks of price activity. The move from, we'll call it 142, 143, all the way up to, again, 156, 155. But here you can see that's just part of the bigger picture move that's been playing out since earnings. End of October, beginning of November, the stock was trading around 118. And you can see along the way up, we've, again, established a couple key areas of balance that have formed. Taking a look here, I've got, again, a 1-hour candle chart here. But as we look, you can see multiple areas that have formed along the way up here, and here it is on the 60-minute candle chart. Again, as long as we hold above 145, we're in a very bullish pattern, and this has been going on since the lows that we saw back in the end of the fall. Now, the significance of this move is, well, not only establishing a trend to the upside off those October lows, but it invalidated the trend that we had been seeing to the downside. Everything above 124 was not what the bears had been looking for. It was exactly what the bulls were looking for in terms of a bottom, a recovery pattern. Joel mentioned 177 being one of the areas he's got his eye on. You can see it coincides with the area that we formed last summer. I'm sorry, 2021 into 2022, and that double top that was present up around 200. So a lot of momentum off the lows from this fall, that's for sure.
I see. Not quite where it was earlier in 2022, but still much higher than where it is today. Joel, why don't you run us through your trade for Amazon?
Absolutely. We're going to sell that 148 put expiring January 5th, simultaneously buying a 147 put expiring the same date. Credit of about 16 cents. Break even is 147.85. That gives us here a couple weeks here going into the new year. To if we do have that momentum to the upside, that 148 put expires worthless, and we keep our premium. But in the event that we do see some pullback to that level of concern that I mentioned near that 147-ish area, then hopefully if the market does consolidate there, those 148s still have a bit of that 147-ish 148 area have a bit of a place or a price or a level that will still let those puts expire for me. So definitely playing the upside, but cautiously, as I mentioned.
Okay. Now, is it also a cautious play on the upside for Meta? It is at its highs of the year, 52-week high, and it's up around 200% over the past 12 months. What are you looking at when you're plotting this Meta trade?
You are speaking exactly to my thoughts. It's one of those things where, honestly, it's us. We see a lot of these names with 52-week highs, and I think just before I would be cautiously really concerned, or even more so looking for other names that maybe were approaching those highs. But I think this market is different. I'm not so sure that we can be afraid of stocks making 52-week highs or new highs, because I think that there's just a bigger narrative from a macro perspective. So I still want to be a bull in Meta, but like as you mentioned, very cautious because of that level. I do like. I think there's more room to the upside. Just looking at a longer term dated chart.
All right, and you have an example trade for that as well?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm gonna sell that 340 put, simultaneously buying a 337.50 put. Both expire January 5th. Pick up a credit of about 57 cents, and my break even is 339.42. So if it does pull back some, I think the 340-ish area will be a level of support that can hold going into the first week of the new year.
All right, Ben, your turn. Walk us through the chart.
Renita, I can understand the bullishness on this one as well. Not only are we seeing momentum to the upside, similarly to Amazon, we've invalidated a trend to the downside on the bigger picture. So let's begin with that short-term momentum, higher, bottom left, top right, areas of consolidation that continue to form at higher and higher levels. And Joel was talking about, again, the market being a little bit different this time around. I'd agree. It hasn't really provided a lot of pullbacks, right? Not a lot of opportunity. If you're just a patient buyer, you've had to be a bit more aggressive. Areas of consolidation on this hourly 15-minute candle chart continue to form at higher and higher levels. Let's take a step away from the price activity over the last couple weeks, and similarly to as we looked at Amazon, the move off the October lows, you can see here the move higher from, we'll call it 280 up to that 354 level we just looked at. But look at the move lower here on the 4-hour candle chart, because this really started off back in the end of April, beginning of May. We were down. Here you can see, again, trading around that $200 level, a big move up here, and well, currently trading all the way up to 354 as of recent. Again, areas of consolidation that formed at higher and higher levels. Now, similarly, again, to what we just looked at in Amazon, Meta bottomed out last fall and has rallied off those lower levels since, invalidating the idea that we were trending lower as we took out 132 into the beginning of last year. And then look, it's been nothing but upside momentum since, right back to 332, which kind of coincides with the same area that we were just looking at, talking about in terms of Amazon in some ways structurally. So yeah, a lot of momentum here on the shorter time frames, and a reversal pattern playing out here on the daily.
Okay, a lot of momentum, cautious bullish trade. Now let's switch over to AMD, because it is also trading at its 52-week highs. This one is a little hot when it comes to the relative strength index, though. Joel, talk to us about your final trade.
Definitely. AMD is one I'm going to kind of hedge my trade a little bit and be a bear. I do think that 52-week high of 143.47 will be a place for concern here in the next couple of weeks. Maybe on a broader, longer term chart, maybe in a broader view, maybe there is more room to run to the upside. But I think that right now, just with a couple factors, option flow, I think that the big brother NVIDIA is really running into some strong resistance near the 500 level. So I think a lot of that is going to really stall AMD out in the short term. So I'm a bear here.
Okay, all right. Walk us through an example trade.
Certainly. Selling the 146 call, simultaneously buying the 147 call. Both expire January 5th. Credit of about 19 cents, break even 146.19. hoping to use that January 5th expiration. We obviously know we're going to be, markets will be closed on this coming Monday, along with, there'll be observance of the first day of the new year as well, going into the new year. So using those days off for collecting premium. And we're going to have a break even of 146.19 for a bearish call vertical spread here.
All right, you're switching it up on us, Joel. Let's see if Ben has the same thoughts. Take us through your charts, Ben.
Well, unfortunately, guys, today we're going to have to go 3 for 3 because I'm somewhat bullish on this one as well. There's momentum across the board in all three of the names Joel was looking at, and we're seeing further momentum here in shares of AMD on the bigger pictures, what I'm really leaning on here. But again, just kind of going back over the last couple weeks, bottom left to top right, shares of AMD from 116 up to 143. You can see the momentum over the short term. This is an hourly candle chart we're looking at here, and I just went ahead and identified some of the areas of consolidation, currently balancing around 140. As long as we hold above 134, this bullish type scenario or working assumption the value is moving higher is still a valid one in my opinion. Taking a step back here, though, you can see this is a daily candle chart here, and as I look at some of the areas of consolidation that have formed on this chart, it looks to me like we're, well, recently breaking out of a bit of a balance that's been forming around 118. This goes all the way back to May as we've been kind of random, just sort of range bound. We'll call it 130 down to the $90 level. And look, just recently here, attempting to get something going to the upside. It looks like we're getting a little overlapping rotational, probably or possibly going to start to form a new area of consolidation at a higher level. That's exactly what the bulls are looking for in this. Again, they're assuming that the value is moving higher, and we continue to as you look at the weekly time frame as well. I'm going all the way back here to 2015. This stock was trading below $2. Look at these areas that have stacked up: 25, 50, 105, 100. We could call it the 110 area, but definitely the bulls have their sights set on that 164. I'm sorry, yeah, 164 area. It looks like. From the end of 2021, beginning of 2022. But while that's a ways off here, Joel, there's still some momentum here. Look at the move we're seeing off the October last year lows. I mean, the stock was trading around 50, 55 back then. We've almost tripled off that lower level.
Wow, we sure have. And AMD year to date up around 114%. No signs of stopping anytime soon, except for this short term, whatever is happening today. But we'll leave it there. Joel, Ben, thank you both so much, and happy holidays to your family for this year.